Good afternoon, everyone. It's Kirsten here from Kirsten Foss Coaching for another Spa Business Break on Thursdays. So today I want to talk about what's your spa business drama story. So I had a conversation with a woman I'm working with right now for coaching, and this is a topic that came up for us in the conversation, and I thought, whoa. Talking about drama stories in Hey Jody, Hey Patricia, talking about what our personal drama stories are in our lives. I think we've talked, we've probably had conversations with friends about drama, our personal drama stories. But have you considered that you have a drama story about your business and what that's actually doing for your productivity, for your business outcomes, for your relationships, your interpersonal relationships with your clients, with your staff? So I think this is a very important topic to talk about, because when it comes to our drama story, and what your drama story is it's the story that is running in the background consistently, usually negative, and it's affecting what we are thinking and what we're doing. And so if we're not aware that we actually have a drama story, then of course we can't do anything about it to change it. So the first thing is about recognition. Do I have a drama story? So what I found was interesting in the conversation I had with Megan was that, we were talking about your drama story, spa owners' drama stories. And then I was like, whoa, I think that I'm actually contributing to your drama story. So this is kind of a bit of a wake-up call for me, and it's a wake-up call for you. So what I want you to consider is thinking about what is your drama story. What are you thinking about yourself as a leader, as an entrepreneur? And and it's probably going to be negative. So some of the drama stories that you may be having are something as basic as I'm not a good entrepreneur. Another drama story is I'm not a good leader. I don't know how to lead. Another drama story is I'm not a good manager. And that can be from previous, all of these things are from previous experiences that at some point ingrained into us, and we believed it, that we weren't good at something. And so it got kind of embedded in here somehow, and we keep making decisions about our business based on our drama story. Another drama story, which I feel is rampant in this industry, has to do with visibility. And that story actually comes from not feeling good enough. And so when it comes to marketing, of course, spa owners are having a really difficult time marketing. If marketing was only about tactics, you guys would be doing the tactics recommended by social media marketers, by traditional marketers. You'd be following those tactics and they'd be working just fine. But you know that these tactics aren't working for you. Sometimes it's because our drama story is just getting in the way right away. And what we do is we'll have some great intentions. Okay, I'm going to try this new tactic. You get rolling on it a little bit, but then it starts fizzling out and you actually don't follow up with it. And so, of course, nothing changes in your business. So that's just an example of how quickly a drama story that you're not aware of can run the show. So the first step is to recognize what is your drama story. Now, when we're doing work like this, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to worry. I don't want to think about the negative. But here's the thing, and this is what I've learned about in my personal life from doing lots and lots of deep work, is that when we're working on the dark sides of our personal selves, that is where the gold is. It's the dark parts of ourselves, the icky parts that we don't really want to get into, that we don't really want to look at it. We just want to, we'll just focus on the positive. But when we don't focus on the negative, that's really sourcing a lot of problems for you in your business as far as leadership and marketing and relating to your teams. then it's a pretty, that's usually when we get hit over the head with a 2x4 in life, and that usually looks like you don't have enough money coming in, there's not enough clients coming in, so you reach that really dark, deep place where you're willing to do the work in order to move past it. So I don't want you to go into you don't need to go into the, hit by a 2x4 and have hardly any money coming in. I want you to think about what are those kind of the dark thoughts, the negative thoughts, the drama thoughts in my head that keep running about me and my business. Just first step is awareness. Don't have to do anything about it quite yet. Now, the second piece to bring to that is to question it. Is it serving you? So if your drama story is, I'm not a good business person. So obviously that is not serving you, but you have to keep asking yourself, okay, if I don't think I'm a good business person, why am I in business? If I truly believe that, why am I doing what I'm doing? So when we can kind of butt up against some of those beliefs that we have about ourselves and challenge it, searching for proof. Okay, where is proof that I'm not a good business person? Whenever we start looking for proof, we're going to find it, whether it's positive or negative. Brene Brown has a great book, Into the Wilderness. I think that was launched last year. And that was a piece in there that was really a great little nugget. If we're looking for proof of negative stuff, we're going to find it. But if we start looking for proof for the positive stuff, we're going to find that too. So let's look for the proof of the positive. All right. We all make mistakes. So yes, of course, we can focus on the parts that might have proven that we're not a good business person, but that actually doesn't prove that you're not a good business person. It just means you didn't know enough at the time. Maybe you still don't know enough. Okay. So is your drama story serving you, or is it helping you to get stuck and stay stuck? Now, the third piece I want to suggest, and not even just suggest, but let you know that it is possible. You can rewrite your drama story. It just takes some focus. It takes keeping top of mind when you have thoughts pop onto your head about your drama story. My staff never, pick up the slack. Those complaints that pop up into our heads during the day all the time. When those kind of negative things pop up, ding, 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 it's like a little red flag. Hey, which part of my drama story is this? Start challenging it. Is that true? Maybe you, so in the example of, my staff isn't picking up the slack. They should be working more on self-promotion. So when you stop and you start analyzing that thought, it's like, well, hey, wait a second. What have I been doing for promoting my team for them? What do I do systematically to promote for them? Am I consistent with my email marketing? Am I consistent with my social media marketing? Am I consistent with teaching my team and holding my team accountable for having 80-20 conversations in the treatment room and not getting caught up in personal conversations? Because we know that when we get caught up in personal conversations, nobody sells anything. So it's, you kind of want to look at those things and start looking for places. Well, maybe I have a piece in this. Maybe I've been dropping the ball as far as consistency in my email marketing. Maybe I've been dropping the ball because I haven't even given my team, enough tools or resources and ongoing coaching in order for them to be successful in their own self-promoting. So this isn't, your drama story may be about pointing fingers at everybody else rather than looking at what you need to be doing and what you should be responsible for. So here's the thing, you get to reinvent your drama story. You get to reinvent yourself if you're realizing oh crap, there's lots of places where I've dropped the ball in my business. That's okay. And that is an incredibly powerful mindset to be in, because once you realize you've dropped the ball, then you can start picking up the ball and being accountable for it. So, okay, I've got a couple other points I want to talk about. So what do you need to do in order to change your drama story? Well, a big part of it has to do with following up with your own agreements. I think there's plenty of you guys, and I've counted myself in this as well, and I've done a lot of work personally to be able to hold myself to my own agreements, because I realized I made agreements. Sometimes they were with other people, but most of the time they were agreements with myself that I wasn't honoring, especially when it was coming to the consistency of my business systems. So, are you following through with your agreements? Yes or no? If it's a no, if it's a, well, sometimes I am, it's a no. If it's I almost always do, then it's still a no, right? So we got to be honest with ourselves. As far as honoring agreements, it could be as simple as how you handle procrastination. If you decide, okay, I'm going to create a marketing strategy for myself for the fall. I'm going to do it right now because I know business is going to start getting smoking busy for June and July. And this is the time I have now. And then I start working on it. And of course, I'm feeling a little bit of resistance because I'm not feeling super confident on it as a spa owner. And, I start looking, I can easily get distracted. I got distracted here and there. But you can, it's just a matter of being aware. It's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to distract myself. Okay, give your head a shake. Let's get back in the game. A lot of this stuff is just habitual, and it means that we just have to be aware of it and consciously make decisions at each little spot that comes up, the opportunity that comes up for us to make them. The other piece of this is about decision making. You just have to decide to do something and go forward on it. What makes most people crazy, whether it's in your personal life or your business, is when you're undecided. It makes us all crazy. Once we decide, then we can get focused and move forward. So if you are recognizing that you have a drama story and it's not serving you at all and it keeps getting you in trouble, it is preventing you from accepting your own responsibility for your own agreements. It's preventing you from following through on tasks. It's preventing you from, really having a great connection with your team. Then it's time to just decide it's going to be different. Yeah, of course you're going to falter a little and trip and stumble. That's just the human condition. But once you've decided and you've made a commitment, then you can really start making strides, because you're going to be completing your action steps. The final piece here is about, when I'm talking about your drama story, maybe it does have to do with marketing. Maybe you really don't know what to do for marketing for your business. I think a lot of times with marketing, spa owners have never really given a marketing strategy a good enough run. Because it's easy to not see quick results and then want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So sometimes it means going back and looking at other marketing promotions that you've done that have worked, and then tweaking those and moving on. So with something like marketing, and you really need to get moving on your marketing and you want to change your drama story, then what needs to go into it is either sweat equity or financial equity. So let's talk about the example for marketing. So if you don't know how to put together a marketing strategy for yourself and you are cash strapped, you are going to have to put in the sweat equity to it. Now, if you're trying to work on your marketing, I'm going to assume that you are having troubles filling your books and it's not as busy. So you probably have the time to put in the sweat equity. Rather than needing to pay for somebody, whether it's a coach or hiring out your marketing completely to a marketing agency to do for you. So what I'm trying to get at with this is that even if you don't know what to do and you don't have the money to invest in either a coach or done for you services, then you need to put the sweat equity into it. And that's part of that, circles back to that honoring your own agreements. When you need to put your own sweat equity into growing your business, it's even more critical that you are holding your own agreements so that you can change your spa business drama story. I'm curious to know what your drama story is. If you feel, this can be a little vulnerable, I guess. My business drama story for when I had my spa business was definitely, I'm not good at money. That was my biggest drama story. And that started feeding into another drama story about, especially when I expanded my business and I had a team and I didn't have any systems, I didn't have any policies and procedures. It was a total mess because it just felt that the whole thing started with I'm not good at money, which started feeding into I'm not good at business. And that wasn't it at all. The story that I've been telling myself about I wasn't good at money, I'd picked that up in elementary school in a math class, and I'd carried it along until my adulthood. And it took me getting whacked over the head with a 2x4 of being like in the red. I'd just had a baby. Some of my staff were driving me crazy. I was going crazy. So it took me to hit the wall like that in order to decide to change my drama story. It doesn't have to be that painful. Jody says, I don't enjoy managing my staff. I find it intimidating. Jody, I'd like to suggest that you go back and kind of maybe have some self-reflection about what is it about managing your staff? Where is the drama story in that? Like, there's got to be a sentence somewhere about managing staff. Whether it was you've had a bad experience before in a previous career managing a team. I do have a story of a client who was extremely stressed about bringing on new team members because she'd had a horrible experience in a previous career. She was put into a supervisory role, not supported at all, didn't have the support from her supervisor. And so she ended up kind of bombing on managing the team because she wasn't supported, but she was kind of thrown under the bus and told she wasn't a good manager. And she's carried that with her into a new career and was causing an incredible amount of anxiety when it came to preparing to add staff to her team. Once we started working on systematizing and then also digging into that drama story, we started finding some places of relief for her, and that has very, very much changed for her now. So Jody, you have a hard time asking for things. Oh, good. This is good. We're starting to kind of peel away the layers. I think there's more to it than that. Why do you have a hard time asking for things? I think it'd be interesting to start unraveling that piece, because that is such a common situation I hear from spa owners who have a team. There's this angst that happens trying to not even deal with conflict, but just the little pieces that come up that you need to talk about with your team or correct them on something, or ask them to do something and then hold them accountable. It's like, oh, I'm afraid to ask. I don't like to ask. I shouldn't have to ask. So it's a super common drama story, and I definitely think that there's more to it than that. And it'll be interesting to kind of keep peeling away. So, and the way you do that is you just keep asking yourself questions. So Jody, you said, I have a hard time asking for things. The next thing is, why do I have a hard time asking for things? So you don't have to keep going on here if you don't want to. I totally understand. But for you to start unraveling where that drama story is coming from, keep going, keep asking, why do I feel that way? I feel this way because, maybe it had to do with, when you were a little kid and you asked for things, one of your parents would just get super mad at you. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe they had too much going on in their own life, and then maybe they snapped at you like, you should just, quit asking for things. You're being a bother. That kind of stuff just sticks in here and ends up being carried with you into adulthood. So yeah, but business stuff, I know sometimes it's like, why are we talking about personal stuff? But honestly, all of this stuff is relevant because you are the leader of your business. And if your headspace has got a drama story that's negative and not serving your business needs, that story needs to change. It has to change. So I said at the very beginning that in this conversation with my coach, and I was like, whoa, oh no, I think I'm contributing to their spa owner's drama story. And I've made a decision that I don't want to do that. That was not my intention. I think that I'm not sure why I did that. But how I realized I was doing it with you guys was reiterating that this is hard. The spa business is hard. This industry is hard to make a profit in. Some of those things are true, like profit margins are lower in service-based industries, but I don't want to keep perpetuating your own drama story. So I'm going to cut that out. Okay. That's my promise to you. Okay. So let's move on from here. Let's start questioning what our spa business drama story is, and if it's serving you, and where the heck did that come from, and start asking questions. Peel back the layers on yourself to see possibly if you can find the genesis of where did that drama story start, and to realize that's not even true. that thought, that belief I had about myself I can find places all over the place that it's just not true. And then we can start making some strides to actually get, figuring out strategy for our business, and then taking those action steps and staying accountable so that we can get that momentum going and keep it going. Because if we are constantly butting up against those, silly and, well, not silly, but they don't serve us, that's why they're silly, drama stories, we just get stuck in this feedback loop that is useless for our business. So it's interesting stuff when we peel back all that kind of thing in our own personal lives, and how it makes a difference on our business goals and hitting them, those business outcomes. You're very welcome, Jody. I'm glad you found it helpful. So anybody who's watching the replay, you feel free to pop in what you think what your drama story might be about your spa business. Because I think that, the more we're open about this, the more that we share about this, then it takes the power out of it. When we have a drama story, we hold that tight. And we kind of, I think it's our ego that tries to protect it, because our ego is trying to protect us from, doesn't want us to get too big, just in case, we get too big for our britches, and who do you think you are? But, once we can start shifting out of that, there's a huge amount of potential that you have that is utterly untapped at the moment. Okay. Thanks for joining me for Thursday's Spa Business Lab, and I will see you guys back here next week. See ya!